Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh no. Oh no. There's water in the box. Good morning, guys. It is Cody from Adventure Cody, and we are out here by my garden, by my water collection tote, and today we are going to be hooking up the drip irrigation system. So if you watch my last two videos, we went over how I built this water collection tote, and then the video over that we went over hooking up the solar and the battery pump. That way we can get water pressure to the hose itself, and then it can go out and feed my pumpkins. By the way, look at how absolutely massive these pumpkins are getting. I planted them 3 weeks ago. I mean, that's my hand for reference. Absolutely massive. This one is gigantic, dude. Look at this. Wow, that's insane. Anyway, so I live in the Appalachian Mountains, and they are a temperate rainforest, which means we get a good amount of rain per year. So the pumpkins should be okay about 70% of the time, I would say. But what I mainly want to do is hook up this drip irrigation system. That way, because actually for the past like 5 days, we haven't gotten rain. These pumpkins, when they're in their peak growth, are gonna need up to like 70 to 80 gallons of water a day. So that's why we're hooking up the drip irrigation system. It's super efficient. It's not like a hose where kind of the water goes everywhere. You can literally hook it to go right up to the stem of the root. You don't need a lot of pressure, although I do have the RV pump now, so that's helpful. So I've never hooked up a drip irrigation system before. Don't really know what I'm getting myself into. But I bought a drip irrigation system online, and yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into it and see if we can't hook this thing up. So, all right, let's do it. All right, so the boys wanted to help me today. They wanted to help me out, didn't they? This is Benny, by the way. This is my golden retriever. What? Okay. So I got just a standard drip irrigation system from Amazon. I'll link it below. It was like $40, I believe. So basically this should be able to hook up to a standard hose, even though I don't have a standard garden hose over there. I have about 1/8 of an inch. So this is what the inside of the package looks like. Excuse me. So the one thing I am kind of worried about with this is that it says that this can connect to like a standard garden hose. And not that I don't have a standard garden hose here, but the end of my hose is actually a 1/2 inch tube. And so I don't really know how that's gonna work with connecting this. So just like anything else that we do here, we just kind of wing it and see what happens. God forbid I gotta pay a visit to my best friends over at Lowe's for the 89th time. So that should be fun. We got a lot of this, so not really sure what that's for. We got all that. Okay. All right, so I was rummaging around through that little box of all the adapters, and I found this little 1/2 inch adapter that has all these little plugs in it, but it does in fact plug up to my 1/2 inch hose. Now what I'm thinking is it also came with all these little plugs, right? These little like stop plugs. So I could, in theory, put some of these stop plugs right here in the sides. Yup. And now this should just come out of here in the top. I'm so freaking smart, dude. Like, come on, bro. I need to stop being so smart sometimes. All right, so let's go get the hose. All right, so this hose is actually smaller. This looks like a 1/4 inch, and this is like a 1/2. But it also appears that you can tie one of these into right here. So we might, in fact, go ahead and do that. Tie one of these right into there. And then this comes with a stop plug for the 1/2 inch. So we'll put the stop plug right there. So now, realistically, we only have water coming out of right here. We have this big long, I think this is like 200 something feet. Now we can go ahead and just kind of plop that over there. Yeah. All right, so we have some T fittings, which are gonna be good to kind of separate these out. And then we also have these little irrigation emitters, which essentially, I believe how they work is you kind of put that into the ground, thing goes right there, and then the water just kind of sprinkles out. So let's see how it works. That is gonna go over to there. So now, I think all I gotta do is hook up the little emitters and we might be in business, I don't know. So let's go ahead and hook one up. It's it's actually 10 a.m. in Appalachia on July 9th, and I'm already sweating. That's why I tried to do this as early as possible. I could just put this, see it hooks in like that. I believe I could just put that kind of right there like that. Let's do that for the other ones. All right, last one. Right down in there, right next to it, just like that. All right, I'm already sweating like a dog, so this has become fun already. It's always fun. All right, I have the sprinkler system hooked up, the drip irrigation. It goes down here, and I don't really like the way this looks, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really like that it looks like this. It's a little janky to me, but either way, it's the one that worked best. So it goes from a 1/2 inch tube to a 1/4 inch tube. These 4 are blocked off, so water doesn't go anywhere. But right here goes under the fence, right there. Comes out to a T. One T goes over here and into, you can see in there, the emitter, the drip irrigation. And apparently this just kind of comes up like a little sprinkler, so that's cool. Then it tees over here to another T. One comes right into here to the other emitter. Okay, and then the other one tees over here to this emitter. I wanted to get it as close to the vine as possible. And we might do more. In fact, we're probably definitely gonna do more over time. But for now, let's just see if this thing works. All right, so if you're watching my last video, all I should have to do is flip this on. Water's going down. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh no, oh no. There's water in the box. I bet the hose came undone. I bet that's exactly what happened. And yep, the hose came undone. Dang it. All right, so we just had a situation happen where that hose right here came off of the RV pump like this. Now there's a bunch of water in the bottom of this, so, and on top of that, I can't really get in here, so fun times. All right, I cut a hole in the bottom with the little utility knife. You can see it all kind of draining out. Right there. I gotta get a hose clamp on that. Yep, I'm gonna get a hose clamp. All right, so when I got the spigot adapter to 1/2 inch, it came with a little 1/2 inch hose clamp. So not really sure, this looks a little big, but also it looks like it has room to run. I don't know, man. We're gonna try to put that over the hose right here and see if it works. Nobody really knows. That's always how this goes, right? You know, you're just like, oh yeah, it's a little 20-minute project, no worries. And next thing you know, you're dealing with issues that you didn't even think were gonna be issues because of incompetency on your end. So that's always fun. Let's start cranking this soldier boy on here. You. I ain't tightening anymore. Let me show y'all what I just did. Went ahead and tightened this hose clamp right onto here. It ain't going nowhere. So now, let's flip this on. See if it gives us any issues. That doesn't sound good. I think I know what it is. I think this side also needs to be tightened down. So let's go get another hose clamp. So when I bought these, I bought 2 of these little adapter to 1/2-inch fittings, and they both came with a hose clamp. So let's go ahead and hook up this other one. Also, whoever created hose clamps, why did you make the tip a flathead that constantly slides off? Why not make it a Phillips? I mean, I know there's a thing right here to hook up a ratchet. I feel like a Phillips is a lot more available to people than a freaking, sorry. I feel like a Phillips is more available to people than a freaking ratchet, you know? Like, why make it difficult, you know? Like, what if this one little thing means a lot to people? What if we made it, like, extremely hard for them to access it? That'd be pretty chill, right? I think the reason it was acting that way is because we didn't have good enough suction on this side, so it was like trying to suck it in. It was like pop, 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 pop. This air was getting in there. All right, let's see. There we go. That was the issue. It is technically working right now. So it's just a little shoddy. I don't know. I mean, it's working. Maybe it's just too much pressure. It can't handle it. Doesn't have enough power. I don't know. I'm not satisfied with this. I'm a tinkerer, and this is bothering me. Who knows, dude? Yeah, I think I figured out what the issue was. Well, at least still don't really know where that sound is coming from. So it's another problem for another day. But I had all this going to just one. And then when I hooked up a different one, like 2 as opposed to just 1 hose, and led that one over there, seems to be working a lot better now. So the water's going up through there, comes down into here, and you can hear it's flowing a lot better now. I think it was just too much pressure, I guess, which I didn't really think was a thing, but yeah, it was too much pressure going to 1 hose. So I kind of diverted the hose. And yeah, now we're working pretty good. The battery and the pump seem to be doing fine. And I'm watering my pumpkins as we speak. So, I don't know. I'm not a water expert. I'm not a pressure expert. Just a guy trying to grow a pumpkin. All right, let's cut this off. All right, guys. So that is today's video where we hooked up the drip irrigation system to the 3 different pumpkins that we have going. Sweating like a dog. Let me get into the shade real quick. All right, so we went ahead and hooked that up. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% satisfied with this. I'm sure I'm gonna tinker with this and do some research on it, but either way, it works for now. Just like any good DIY person, you're constantly tinkering and constantly messing with things. So I'm satisfied with this for now. I do like this system overall because it's gonna rain today, which means I'm not gonna have to use my sprinkler system. So the pumpkins are gonna, it's okay, cicada. Do your thing, cicada. The pumpkins are gonna get their water. And then obviously I'm gonna collect even more water. The battery is charging as we speak. So, I mean, I'm only gonna use it probably for about 5 minutes in the morning and then 5 minutes at night on days that it doesn't rain. So we just had about 6 days with no rain. And we're probably, looking at the forecast, we're gonna have 6 more days of rain, or at least 5, I believe. So that should be fun. Either way, let me know what you guys thought of this video. Very skeptical right now, but you know, I would love your thoughts on maybe if you think it's the water pump that's not getting enough pressure, or maybe it's too much pressure. I don't know. I'm not a professional in any of these regards, so I'd love your comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try to document this periodically. I'm sure if I find a way to fix this, then I'll start documenting that as well. The idea here is to grow a 500-pound pumpkin. So I bought Atlantic giant pumpkin seeds. So these things are gonna be the big boys. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this. and y'all have a great rest of your day. I will see y'all out there. Bye-bye.